Ken Kaplan from the New England Motorcycle Museum, and today I'm proud to be representing this absolutely gorgeous Yamaha Heritage 650 Special. This is a 1982 model, the second to last year before they stopped importing them to the United States. I have a long history with these motorcycles, starting with the fact that I started out on Triumphs. My dad had Triumphs when I was growing up. He loved the vertical twins, and when Yamaha came out with this, he fell in love. He test rode one, and he actually purchased a 1975 Yamaha XS650 when I was about 10 years old, and that bike was a black one, and a very similar engine to this. It left a lasting impression on me, such to the fact that in 1982, when I was 17 years old, I went out, actually fudged the loan application, said I was 18 when I was only 17, and I bought a 1977 XS650, a burgundy one, and I love that bike. I rode it everywhere. Very similar in style to the British twins, except for these were introduced in 1968. Yamaha launched this new engine. It was the most advanced engine in its class of large parallel twin motorcycles. The engine and gearbox are unit construction with the crankcase split horizontally for ease of assembly, whereas almost all contemporaries in its class in 68 are either unit construction with a vertically split crankcase or pre-unit construction with separate engine and gearbox. This is a much better design, much more advanced, much more durable, and the XS650 engine was used in AMA professional dirt track racing by national champion Kenny Roberts. So this is a national championship winning motor. It was made from 1968 to 1985, and as I mentioned earlier, they stopped importing them in '83. It's a 654cc, 4-stroke parallel twin air-cooled single overhead cam, 2 valves per cylinder, 50 rear wheel horsepower, and about 54 foot-pound of torque. Capable of 13 seconds in the quarter mile at over 100 miles per hour. Very, very fast, smooth, and reliable. The engine has a 360-degree crank angle. This provides an even firing interval between the two cylinders, and the XS650 valves are operated by a single overhead camshaft, whereas almost all the other ones in its class had push-rod valve gear, which isn't nearly as reliable or efficient or performing the best. The 360-degree crankshaft uses 3 roller bearings and a ball bearing, and the camshaft uses 4 ball bearings, and roller bearings are used throughout the rest of the engine. Connecting rods turn on needle bearings, and since the engine is a single overhead cam, there are no push rods to operate the valves. Because the flywheel is lighter than the British contemporaries, the engine tends to pick up revs more rapidly when the throttle is open quickly, so much better in street and racing applications. During the later developments of the engine, compression ratios were raised, pistons were lightened 20% along with connecting rods to reduce the reciprocating mass inside the engine to result in more horsepower, smoother operating. So this engine was produced for 20 years by Yamaha. This is a second to last year of the evolution. They originally started out with points. This one has electronic ignition, the lighter piston, lighter rods, much better running engine. It was refined over a 20-year period through the racing heritage of the likes of Kenny Roberts to be where it is now. This bike runs perfectly. It's 100% stock. This is a low mileage survivor with only 5,000 miles on it. Keep in mind, this is a 35-year-old classic with only 5,000 miles on it. We just sold an 82. If you look under our completed listings, the 82 just broke $5,000. I think it was $5,050. This one will be worth a little bit more because it has the special, the Heritage Special designation, which included the 80 spoke wheels, the nicer badges, and it's a little bit classier looking bike than the standard Heritage Special. The motorcycle comes complete with a title, and let me show you that. It's an 82 Yamaha XS650 SJ motorcycle. Clean Connecticut title. You can take this anywhere in the world and register it. If you happen to be in the United States, we can ship this bike anywhere in the United States for under $500. And let me go over with you quickly what was done to the bike. We did an extensive amount of work to the motorcycle. Over $3,500 was just invested into it, starting with the paint job, the tank, side panels, front and rear fender. The bike was completely dismantled down to the frame. The engine and frame were left. It was left in the frame, but everything else was taken off. It was steam cleaned. The front and rear fender, side panels, rear fender, front and both fenders were painted the original factory black color. The first thing that was done to the motorcycle when we took it apart is we checked the cylinder compression. Perfect, 150 psi across the board, both cylinders. Put brand new spark plugs in it. We installed a brand new top of the line battery, and went through the whole entire electrical system on it. We disassembled and replaced the starter push button and cleaned up everything in the right switch housing. We went through all the turn signal wiring, made sure everything was routed correctly, and all the connections were nice and clean on the entire wiring harness front to back. So all the electrical was gone through, cleaned, all the terminals cleaned. Extended amount of time and energy was put into making sure all the electricals work perfectly on it. High beam, low beam, horn, turn signals, rear brake, hand brake, everything's perfect. So electronically, everything was gone through. Then we went through the fuel system, starting with the tank. The tank fuel was drained. We pressure washed the interior of the tank, and we used a product called Metal Rescue. It's about a 3-day process where you fill the tank with the product, dump it out, fill it again, dump it out, removes all surface rust. So the tank interior on this motorcycle is like brand new. The inside of it, we never coat tanks on motorcycles when we restore them because the coating tends to peel after 3 or 4 years, 5 years, and it's junk. It ruins the tank. This tank's like the day it came out of the showroom, perfectly clean, bare metal with a fresh paint job on it. We also cleaned the fuel cap. This was taken off, cleaned, and we put a brand new rubber gasket between the cap and the tank so that it won't leak at all. It's pretty common that those will leak after 20, 30 years. It's a 35-year-old bike. The fuel petcock was replaced. It's a OEM Yamaha fuel petcock with all brand new gaskets, all new rubber, and a brand new fuel hose. So your entire fuel system from the tank to the carburetor was completely rebuilt. The carburetor was completely disassembled and put in our ultrasonic carb cleaning tank. Every bit of the carburetor was completely dismantled. All the valves, float valves, passages, O-rings, everything was taken out, and brand new gaskets, O-rings, float valves, and passage plugs were all put in it. Brand new carb holders were installed on the inside duct side. These are rubber. Pretty much any used motorcycle from the 80s that has this carbureted, you're going to need to do that. And it's a real pain in the ass if you don't know what you're doing. And it's expensive and difficult to find the parts. This was all done. Everything's brand new. All the rubber on the carburetor between the carb and the engine is new. All the gaskets are new. The complete fuel system has been gone through. We replaced the fuel and vacuum lines, and then we took the air box off of it on the intake side, cleaned the air box, and installed 2 brand new OEM air filters. So the entire intake carburetor system has completely gone through, and the throttle pipe, the throttle cables, this was all dismantled, pressure lubed, adjusted the cables, and then when the motorcycle was started, we did perform a hot carburetor synchronization with the bike running, and we did the mixture screw adjustment and set the idle speed. So it's tuned to perfection. The charging system output is 14.5 volts, indicating everything's perfect on the charging system. We can burn proper operation of all electrical functions. The oil in the motorcycle when we got it was brand new, but when we worked on the motorcycle, we changed it anyways. So the oil's been changed twice since we got it. It's brand new oil. The previous owner had put the new tires on it. The tires have less than 100 miles on them. They're period correct, period style tires, front and rear, and new tubes. The clutch cable was lubed and adjusted, and the whole entire bike was detailed front to back, top to bottom. The handlebars are the original style Yamaha bars. They look to be brand new. The chrome on the bars is perfect. These are the original style mirrors. I think they may in fact be the original mirrors, as are the grips and levers. Again, 5,181 miles, 35-year-old Yamaha XS650. These regularly trade for 5,000 or above in restored condition. We have a very reasonable reserve on this motorcycle. And like I said, I've got the work order right here. We just invested $3,508 into the motorcycle. The previous owner had put the tires on it and done some other work, so over $4,000 has been invested in this motorcycle, and it's a low-mile survivor. I'll go over the parts list with you quickly. Brand new YB14LA2 battery, brand new spark plugs, brand new air filters, brand new intake manifold kit, brand new carb rebuild kit, brand new petcock rebuild kit, replacement petcock, new fuel passage plugs, new fuel lines, new vacuum lines, new fuel cap gasket, new fuse holders, new 8-pin connectors, new terminals on the wiring harness. Let's see, that's about it. Fresh oil, and the bike has been through a 100-point inspection by the staff here at the New England Motorcycle Museum and Kaplan Cycles. Now the bike is 35 years old. There is a little bit of patina on it, a little bit of patina on the original paint on the gauges in the headlight bucket. There's a little tiny ding that you wouldn't even notice, a little beauty mark on the gauge here on the side of the gauge. The engine has not been repainted. You can see there's a little bit of patina that you'd expect from a 35-year-old motorcycle, but it's a true classic, and it's a well-preserved example. The headers have the chrome isn't perfect on the headers, but these are the original headers. There's no rust through anywhere on them. They're not perfect, but they look great, and it's original. So that pretty much sums it up. Beautiful example of a well sorted out 35-year-old Yamaha XS650. If you have any questions about this motorcycle, please give me a call, 860-454-7024. Again, I can ship it anywhere in the country for $500 or less, and it's just a beautiful bike. Again, my heart is with these 650s. I grew up riding these. When I was 10 years old, I drove to New York City with my dad and to New Jersey, where my family was, on the back of a 1975 XS650. So a black one just like this, very similar bike. I rode one myself from 17 to 20. This is what I had, and then I got into the GS1000s and the crotch rockets after that. But I've always loved these bikes. They're bulletproof. There's a cult following on these. This one's 100% stock configuration, but a lot of guys are doing retro mods on them and cafe racers and putting, you know, the drag bars and the quarter frame, which is, hey, it's up to you. If you want to set it up the way you like it, go for it. But if you want a bike that's going to go up in value and be easy to own and maintain and inexpensive to own, buy this bike. The taxes and insurance on it are going to be dirt cheap because it's a classic, and it's only going to go up in value. These bikes are becoming more and more rare to find, and to find one that's completely sorted out like this, turnkey with new tires, battery, and everything gone through, good luck finding a nicer one. So I hope it goes to a great home. I wish I could keep it, but we're selling the bikes to raise funds for the New England Motorcycle Museum Restoration Project. So the money's going to a good cause. And if you want to come take a look at the bike, come take a demonstration ride on it, you're more than welcome to. So good luck bidding on the bike. God bless America.